Hi there, welcome to my website. I wrote a column this week about the legend Billy Cannon, the great football player, the pride of Louisiana. For you folks don't live in Louisiana, Cannon won the Heisman Trophy back in 1958 when I think the following year LSU won the national championship. He was an All-American. And he's most famous for his run that beat Ole Miss back in the 1958. You can see the run right here on the website. It's really a unique run, really something to watch, where he broke about 8 tackles and went ahead and scored the winning touchdown. And he will ever be embedded in the sports history of Louisiana, particularly LSU, with that great run. I think you ought to watch it. One interesting thing to see is if you watch the run of this website, you'll see a referee on the field who's behind Cannon running along to keep up with it as he goes down the field. But on the sidelines, you'll notice on the sidelines, there's another referee. And he runs stride by stride with Cannon. Must be a pretty fast guy. He runs down the field. Now, he's not on the field, but he's dressed in the uniform of a referee. The guy wasn't a referee. What he did, it's a great story, but he couldn't get a ticket to go to the game. So he dresses up like a referee and comes into the game and stands on the sidelines. And one of the linesmen kind of gets suspicious and looks at him, and he confesses and says, well, all right, just stay there and don't move. I won't say anything. Well, when Cannon starts his run down the field, this guy who's the fake referee gets so excited, he runs all the way down the field. So take a look at the video, and you'll see the fake referee who snuck into Tiger Stadium, who ran down the field for that magnificent run. Wonderful tribute to Cannon. Controversial fella, because after a huge football career, played in the NFL, played for the Houston Oilers, came back and got a dental degree and became a very successful dentist in Baton Rouge. And then out of nowhere, this counterfeit scandal came about. And I know a lot about it because I was personally involved. Let me tell you why. I was the Secretary of State of Louisiana at the time. And one day, my secretary said, there's a couple of Treasury officials to see you. They're insistent they see you just immediately. Very pushy guys. They came into my office and demanded, where did you get this $100 bill? And I didn't know, and we checked it out. We don't get any cash in most of the areas of the Secretary of State's office, but we do in the corporations division when lawyers file new corporations or new documents. A lot of cash comes in there. And apparently a lawyer had filed a corporation document and used a $100 bill that was counterfeit. It wasn't real. And that was the first sign of a $100 bill that came from the Cannon Enterprise. Cannon, apparently with several other fellows, produced some $100 bills, quite a bit, one of the larger takes of counterfeit bills in history of the country. And they started circulating throughout the Baton Rouge area. And so we got the first one, and that led to many others coming about. I spoke for years after that and told the story of finding the $100 bill. And I would always tell the group I was speaking to, I was kind of suspicious that it wasn't a real $100 bill, because when you looked out the bottom where normally it says, "In God We Trust," it said, "Go to hell, Ole Miss." So that kind of gave me an inkling about the bill. Really didn't, but I had fun telling that story. And then, of course, I went to Tulane, where I got my law degree, and Tulane and LSU, this big rivalry. I also joke all the time that if you want to earn money, you go to Tulane. Now, if you want to make money, you go to LSU, and the LSU fans didn't like that at all. Anyway, Cannon, after he went to prison for about 3 years, I believe, came back, changed his life, became the dentist up at the state penitentiary at Angola outside of Baton Rouge, notorious state prison, and then was the medical director up there, and just was so beloved. Now, after he served his time in prison, he's introduced with the national championship team a few years ago. When he comes on the field and is introduced, a standing ovation just would not stop. Here's a guy that's been out of prison a few years, and the cheering continues and continues. The public address system guy keeps saying, we got to go off the game. Let's cut it down. And they kept cheering for 15 minutes. It didn't stop in Tiger Stadium in honoring Billy Cannon. Passed away, had a huge turnout, public funeral, televised, and he'll be put to rest. And again, he will be a great sports legend of LSU. So read my column. I think you'll enjoy some of my comments there. Thanks for looking at the website this week. We'll see you next week, okay?